Welcome everyone to the Avengers podcast, where we talk Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and more. I'm your host Torrin, and with me is my co-host Peyton.
Yo.
We have a great show for everyone this week. We'll be talking about The Flash and the news of the week. There'll be time codes in the description or the show notes if you want to jump around. And with that, here's Peyton with the news.
There's a lot of news. A lot has happened this past week, so let's just get right into it. New castings for Mortal Kombat 2 have been announced, including Martin Ford as Shao Kahn, Desmond Chiam as King Jared, Anna Thu Nguyen as Queen Sindel, and Damon Harriman as Quan Chi. So, movie's coming along.
I'm trying to figure out who those actors and actresses are.
I don't know, but I looked them up and they look good enough, I guess. I mean, who are you going to find that looks like Shao Kahn? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little like CGI Shao Kahn. I don't know. But I know one thing. I fucking hate Sindel. I'm not a fucking fan. She's so annoying.
Yeah, Sindel's alright. She's fine. I just hope that, I don't know, they just gotta do something with the second movie, dude, because the first one was just not good.
I had fun with it.
It's fun, but it's bad.
Carl Urban's Johnny Cage.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's gonna be fucking fun as fuck. To see Carl Urban do Johnny Cage, that's gonna be great. But 2 Star Wars movies will release in 2026. One will release on May 22nd, and the other will release on December 18th. And a third Star Wars movie will release December 17th, 2027. So yeah, Star Wars movies are finally back on the schedule. I imagine one of these. I assume one of the 2026 ones, probably the December 2026 one, is going to be the new Rey movie. So at least I imagine so, because they announced the Rey movie. There's the fucking like Birth of the Jedi or Force or some shit that James Mangold is doing. I think there was something else that I don't fucking remember. Oh, Taika Waititi's movie. So maybe it's May is the Taika Waititi one, December is the Rey one. I don't know, but I'm excited for finally more Star Wars in theaters. And then we got Star Wars Outlaws gameplay. Talked a little about it last week. This is the Ubisoft open world game that's coming out. And, you know, we're all pretty skeptical because it's Ubisoft and they don't have the best track record with anything. So, but we finally got gameplay, and people are like shitting on the gunplay a little bit. But I think the gunplay's fine. I just think whoever they got to play in the little demo that they showed fucking sucked because they couldn't aim for shit. But outside of that, it looks really, really good. I'm still skeptical because it's Ubisoft, but it looks really, really good. It like all the environments look incredible. You get on a speeder and it's just open world, and this story, you can like choose whether certain decisions you want to make, which is fucking great. You can just get in your ship and just fly into space seamlessly. Technically it's not seamless. There's like, it's a loading screen, but it's a very, very, very well hidden loading screen. And then you can just, there's space battles and shit. It looks fucking huge, really ambitious. You can like rob fucking the people and then you get wanted. It's like Red Dead Redemption 2 but Star Wars, and I don't want to get my hopes up because it's Ubisoft, but if they pull it off, I might lose my mind.
Well, that shit's gonna be ass regardless because it's Star Wars, you know.
Okay. Bro's a Star Wars hater. You hate to see it.
Nah, dude. I'm a Star Wars enthusiast.
But this is according to Deadline. The Penguin has halted filming until the writer's strike ends with fair pay and conditions for writers. So,
W.
Indeed a W. But if you consider that bad news, some good news. It's now rated TVMA. So it's not your grandpappy's Penguin. Gonna be shooting people up and saying the F word. So that's cool. This is according to Variety. A new DC animated series, Beast Boy Lone Wolf, is in the works at Hanna-Barbera Studios. So there was a few DC animated stuff that was announced. There was like some Bat Family one. There was like a Merry Christmas Batman, some shit. But a Beast Boy solo series sounds really interesting. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I don't know what sort of Beast Boy they're going to go for, if they're going to go more for like a Teen Titans, like OG Teen Titans cartoon, or if they're going to go more live action Titans show. Which is, I mean, that's a cool version. They just fucking shit all over his character. But this is according to the Hollywood Reporter. Christina Hodson was circling Annie Muschietti's The Brave and the Bold at one point, which we talked about last week. She was rumored to be writing the film, at least until after the writer's strike ended. But it seems that she decided not to write Brave and the Bold and decided to write Fast 11 instead.
Oh my God. Oh my fucking God, bro. Dude. We can't fucking win. Bro, come on, dude. Oh my God. I'm gonna have a breakdown.
Why?
Bro, dude. Why dude?
Okay, well, I sort of had the same reaction, but then someone on Twitter was like, I think I'd much rather have like you have to like top the previous Batman movies, and then with Fast 11 the bar is so low you can't really do anything wrong.
You know, that makes a lot more sense, but it's also like, I don't know, man. As much as I love Fast and Furious, I just want the series to end. I mean, even though it's probably not going to for the next, like,
should have ended after Tokyo Drift
millennia. I think it just ended after 7.
5.
But then again, like, Tokyo Drift, like, canonically is the 6th film in the series, which is crazy. So I don't know.
The Harley Quinn Kite-Man Spin-Off series is now titled Kite-Man Hell Yeah. It's an interesting title.
It's something.
It's I mean, I love Harley Quinn, and Kite-Man's a fun character, but I mean, he says hell yeah a lot in the show. I just why did you name that series? That just
hell yeah, Kite-Man. It kind of been.
Oh yeah, true. That is kind of better. Like hell yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah, Kite-Man. I'm like, what?
Instead of Kite-Man, hell yeah. We got some good news and some good-ish news, and then bad news.
Oh no.
Good news is Gotham Knights has been canceled at the CW after only one season.
Yes.
Hip, hooray. Thank God.
Who wanted that show?
Literally no one. Apparently, it was better than it looked like, but I ain't giving that shit a chance. I don't give a fuck. Hell no. The good-ish news is Superman and Lois has been officially renewed for season 4 at the CW, and season 4 will be 10 episodes long. And also Michael Cudlitz, who is playing Lex Luthor in the series, has been up to a series regular for the season. I say good-ish news. It sounds like great news, right? It sounds like great news, doesn't it?
Yes.
According to Deadline, the series is expected to be making major budget cuts, which would include reducing the number of series regular supporting cast members. And then 2 days later, Deadline reported again, Dylan Walsh, who plays Lois's dad, Emmanuel Cheriki, who plays Lana Lang, Eric Valdez, who plays Lana Lang's husband, Kyle Cushing, Inde Navarrete, who plays Sarah, their daughter, Wole Parks, who plays John Henry Irons, Taylor Buck, who plays Natalie Irons, and Sophia Hasmick, who plays Chrissy, who works at the Gazette, are all no longer series regulars.
Oh my God.
Pretty much the entire supporting cast are not gone because they're just not series regulars, and the hope is for them to recur as guest stars for the next season, pending availability. But yikes, man.
That's crazy.
Completely fucked, bro. I'm like, I'd rather it get canceled than turn into The Flash, because like it's not, I mean, like, some people are like, oh, I don't care about like the Cushing family, you know, like them. I actually think it's pretty good, but like the fact it's going to be more focused presumably on Lois and Clark, but I feel like you gotta have the supporting cast there. I mean, you gotta like bounce people off of. What are the kids gonna do? Like, they're just around, I guess. I have faith in their creative team and their writers, but fuck, man, it's rough. The entire supporting cast, fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's just rough, dude.
I don't want this show to be bad, bro, because they're fucking making budget cuts. Because CW just give it to HBO, man. Just give it to HBO. or Max or whatever the fuck. I don't just pain, absolute pain. Moving on, I guess. Deadline are reporting that Daredevil Born Again has halted filming until the writer's strike ends. W. Again, W. Gonna get delayed, which, there's a little bit of pain there, but, W. I mean, it's for a good cause. But, and then we got some... It's... Okay, well, I'll just talk about it. Deadpool 3 has moved up from November 8th, 2024 to May 3rd, 2024. So pretty much a 6-month move shift. We're seeing it earlier now. It's coming out literally next May instead of next November. I'd say this is good news, but that's a whole 6 months less time to work on this film. Plus the writer strike, and Ryan Reynolds can't improv and shit. I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine. Captain America Brave New World has been delayed to August 26th, 2024. Thunderbolts has been delayed to December 20th, 2024. Blade has been delayed to February 14th, 2025. Fantastic Four has been delayed to May 2nd, 2025. I almost said Avengenerds again. I'm so used to this fucking show. Avengers The Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars have been delayed to May 2026 and May 2027.
Yeah, I mean, that's like good. But I know a lot of people are like, people aren't going to care about the MCU anymore if like things keep getting pushed back. And I'm like, aren't y'all the ones wanting delays?
So they have more time to work on it. You want them to slow their roll, but you're also like, oh, why don't they come out already?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like, bro, if everything were to come out just soon, like people are gonna be like, oh yeah, they're just it's quantity over quality. But like, of course, when things are getting delayed because like the writer strikes and or actually with them taking their time, well, people aren't gonna care about this any longer. Calm down.
Yeah, but all of this is generally positive. I'm just worried about Deadpool 3. It moved up 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months is crazy.
But I guess we'll see. But yeah, lots of delays. I forgot what Fantastic Four was originally, because I think it might have been earlier 2025, but Blade keeps getting pushed back. Poor Blade. You hate to see it.
I know, right? Poor Blade.
There is a couple more pieces of news, but they're Flash related and they're spoilery. So we're going to do that after we get into the review, which is right now. It's time to move on to our topic, which is, of course, the Flash review. We're going to be doing non-spoilers, then spoilers, time codes and shit in the description or the show notes if you want to just jump to the spoiler review or you want to avoid spoilers. So why don't you why don't you start us off?
Oh yeah, we're doing non-spoilers.
Yeah, non-spoilers and spoilers. Yeah.
Oh fucking Christ. Jesus. So I had gotten to watch the movie early thanks to Mr. Muschietti and WB. But I just really think that throughout the entire movie I was in awe. I was like, wow, this movie is just it was 10 years awaiting into this the very moment. I put my feelings aside for Ezra Miller, despite all the things that they've done, but Ezra's acting in this movie was I really enjoyed it. They did their thing in this movie. And I know I know how people feel about Ezra's Barry not being comic Barry, and that's something that I can let that slide, considering that this is something that's still from the Snyderverse. But outside of Ezra, Michael Keaton was fantastic. Sasha Kaye was amazing as Supergirl, and even then just how the story was, it was really, really good. I loved the multiversal Speed Force aspects of the of the story. It felt very like refreshing to see. Like, and I also, I mean, just overall, like I really like enjoyed the movie. The things that the criticisms I have, I will get into in the spoiler parts. But other than that, like I really had fun with it, and I do love the movie, even with all its faults.
Yeah, I've I can't think of the last time I've been so mixed on a film, because on the whole I did thoroughly enjoy it, but it's I'm gonna sort of use my Letterboxd review as a guide, but like, yeah, this movie is 10 years in the making. Ezra was cast 2014, 2013, something like that. So it's basically been 10 years, you know, going through various directors and writers and et cetera, et cetera. And to me, it does not show at all. It's like there's so many things in this movie that are visually incredible, that are like, then they take some great ideas and visual liberties as far as like what does the Speed Force look like, what does him running look like that we didn't really see in the other Snyder movies, what is like, and stuff like that I thought was really, really interesting and really, really cool. But at the same time, it also looks really, really bad. It's like, there are some fantastic moments in this movie, which we'll get to in spoilers, but there's also some really, really, really bad stuff in this movie. It just generally falls flat for me. And like you said, I think Ezra Miller does give a genuinely really, really good performance in this, but it's the same problem I had with them the same problem I had with them in the previous movies they were in. They're just like, they're fine, they're good for the character they're playing, but the character they're playing just isn't Barry Allen. The whole super ridiculously awkward, more so than Grant Gustin's Barry Allen in season 1 of The Flash, just dialed up to 15, and like it doesn't work. And then like, it worked in Justice League 2017 and even the Snyder Cut, because they were there for, you know, comic relief, and it worked there because everyone else is so serious and whatever. But when the movie's just like, it's them the entire time, and especially when, this isn't a spoiler because everyone knows about it, the younger version of him that he meets in the past, he's just like dialed up to 20, which the positive to that is that it forces older Barry to sort of mature a bit. I did like that, but that doesn't make younger Barry not just grating at times. It's like, because and there was some, like, it's not all bad. There were some good moments with the younger Barry, and there were some good moments with their back and forth. But on the whole, like, again, great performance from Ezra Miller, but just not what I'm trying to see from Barry Allen. And
bro, he's literally Barry Allen, bro. You don't read comics.
The multiverse aspect is done, I think, very, very well. It's tough to look at this after Across the Spider-Verse and not. I'm trying not to think about it as much as I can.
It's crazy because like it's kind of like, it reminds me of like last year, where like it's like another like movie like kind of being overshadowed by like another multiverse movie, like, you know, with Everything Everywhere All at Once releasing, and then
Multiverse
Strange,
of Madness,
and then like and it gets overshadowed. So, same thing with The Flash, like in, you know, Across the Spider-Verse, like, you know, does the multiverse aspect so well. We'll also introduce, like, you know, canon events for all the Spider people, and then for the Flash movie, it's like, oh well, you know, yeah, you have the multiverse aspect, but, you know, Across the Spider-Verse, you know, did it better. Like, you know, it's just one of those things.
It's really bad timing. But
it really is.
What I do have to give the film credit for, or maybe not credit, but it does what it should do in the first place. But based off marketing, understandably, because of Ezra Miller's actions, the marketing is very focused on like Supergirl and Michael Keaton's Batman and stuff like that. And this movie is very much a Flash movie.
It really is. Yeah,
Michael Keaton doesn't show up until maybe halfway, or maybe even a little bit after halfway, and then Sasha Calle's Supergirl doesn't come in until a little bit later, and then they're pretty much there the third act, and that's it. And Keaton's like maybe back half of the second act. But I thought the multiverse aspect was done really well, but in the third act, yikes. Yeah. Wait, are we talking about spoilers now? No.
Oh, dude. Dude.
We'll get to it. But yeah, again, like I was alluding to earlier, it has some really great visual effects moments, but there's a majority of it, unfortunately, I can't even say like, oh well, the majority of it was good and it was only this little bit that was bad. It was like 25% of it looked really good, and then 75% of it looked like ass. And you can go to our previous reviews of certain you could go back to our Quantumania review, our Thor Love and Thunder review. I don't really care about CGI looking sort of off all that much. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, everyone cries about the third eye thing. I couldn't give a fuck. I think it looks fine enough. I give a lot of things a pass, and there's a couple things that we'll get into spoilers that I was like, okay, I'm tempted to give this a pass, because there's some things it's like, if a movie is good enough, I'm willing to forgive a lot. And in this, not only was the majority of it it didn't look good, the movie itself, in my opinion, just wasn't good enough to forgive some of those. There's a couple where I'm like, I can kind of see that maybe, and then we'll get into like the director's comments, I could see how maybe it was like an artistic choice to make certain scenes maybe not look the best that they could in any other film. But there's also moments where I'm sorry, I cannot give that same excuse. Some of the shit just looks bad. And it's really unfortunate, because when you're someone as CGI blind as me, because there's a bunch of people like, man, the CGI was terrible. I'm looking at it and I'm like, what? It looks fine. For me to go like, this looked like ass, is saying something. There's a couple moments in there that are especially bad.
Yeah.
But
dude, I really want to talk about that, but like I want to get into like a spoiler part of it.
Yeah. So the last thing I'll say before we get into spoilers is the biggest thing that saves this movie are the writing. I think Christina Hodson did a really good job. Unfortunately, execution and Ezra Miller and a bunch of like production trash sort of tainted it a bit, but the core story is good, so I cannot blame her specifically for anything that's really wrong with this film. But it's that saves it. There's some truly great action sequences in this. There's also some whatever action sequences in this, but we'll get to that. Both Batmen, that's what I wanted to talk about. Ben Affleck in this, I really liked Ben Affleck. Which is saying something for me. I'm kind of like, damn, when you give him good material, I kind of fuck with him. It's like, there's a specific moment that I really, really, really loved with him. And of course, Michael Keaton, Batman, was just a highlight the entire way through. Every single scene with him, I'm just like, I love this guy. He's doing great. And of course, Sasha Calle as Supergirl, who needed like way more screen time. She was completely underutilized in my opinion, or maybe she wasn't underutilized and I played it up in my head because of the marketing. I don't know, but she wasn't in the movie nearly as much as I would have liked. But yeah, that's it for me. I had to give this movie a 7.5, and that's the absolute highest I will go. I can't give the movie any higher. But I do want to ask you initially gave this movie a 9.5.
Yeah.
Do you stand by that?
No, I don't.
So what changed?
The CGI, and the CGI in the third act. I'm going to talk about spoilers. I don't fucking care. No. It's over. It's over.
Okay, well, give your rating for it. Give your rating.
It is changed to an 8. It changed to an 8 because the movie does have a lot of heart. I think it really shows through the writing and through the performances of all the cast involved.
Yeah. And I feel bad because like I gave this movie a 7.5. I'd probably give the same to like Shazam 2. But I was a lot more positive towards that movie, and it's not because I like this movie less. It's just because I know what the Flash can be, and I know how good and how cool this could have been. So, like a lot of it, sort of ragging on it. I don't mean to. It's just I really wanted it to be better, and I wanted to like it more. I just wanted a better movie.
Yeah.
Where Shazam, I knew what I was getting, and it was exactly what it was.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, for me, top 5 DCEU movies, but that's not a high bar.
Yeah. It's not really saying a lot.
But yeah, okay. We're going into spoilers. Get into spoilers. It's spoiler time.
Finally, Jesus. But so basically what I wanted to say is I know you're talking about the CGI. And the CGI, like for me, like when I first saw it, like I knew, like it was, I wouldn't say it was bad, but I'm like, this definitely could have been like polished some more. And I'm like, I saw all the cameos. I'm like, wow, this is like really, really cool. And then afterwards on social media, like people were like, yeah, like this is like super disrespectful. And that's when like the hindsight kind of kicked in. I was like, yeah, this is like really fucking bad.
So you let Twitter shape your opinions for you. Got it.
No. Okay. So I was letting the CGI pass, like, for Ezra. Cause like you can't really, like having 2 people on screen, it's like, it's been done before, but like, it's not done like entirely too often.
Yeah, that was done really well. Like they're like interacting with each other and stuff. It's good.
Yeah, so like I'm gonna let that pass. The CGI for Batfleck in the beginning was like noticeable, but like I didn't really care too much.
See, I didn't notice it at all.
You didn't notice it at all?
No.
Like I noticed it at the very beginning, and I can notice it. I noticed it in the trailers too.
See, so everyone was talking about that and like, oh, why does it look so bad? And I'm like, I don't think it looked bad, but like you can just. It's one thing to notice how CGI is, and like versus like, oh, this is just bad CGI. Like, see, this is what I mean. Like I'm CGI blind. Like I can't point out what's wrong. What looked wrong with it? Like I couldn't. It's not even like this is CGI, but it looks fine. I'm just like I can't tell that that's CGI.
Yeah, no, like it like I was able to tell, like for Batfleck, it was like CGI, like from the bike, from like the entire body and like his face, because like
I could see how it could be a face replacement. I know the bike was practical. Other than
the bike was practical.
Yeah, they're set photos, man.
That I did remember seeing that, but that shit does not look fucking practical at all in the movie.
It's practical. It moves. I mean, obviously, it doesn't move the way it does in the movie. So I mean, there's definitely CG there.
Yeah, but damn. So yeah, there's that, and like and you can. The only way I could tell where they had Affleck like come in was when they're on the bridge. That's the only time you see Affleck in the suit. Other than that, it's completely CG.
Yeah, the times where he's on the bike is definitely a face replacement, just based on set photos alone.
Yeah.
But again, I couldn't tell. But I thought Batfleck was great in this, and the moment I was referring to was.
Yeah, he was really, really good.
I thought the moment I was referring to was on the bridge where he's holding the lasso of truth. and he's just completely outing himself. And he says like what does he say? He was like if I could, I know how to stop crime. I just have to end poverty. It'd be easy. He's like, I'm a billionaire. I could just stop crime anytime I want. Which is the thing that like everyone who hates Batman says. He's just like, just end poverty and
yeah, right.
Lower crime rates.
But yeah, I think honestly, I think what carries this movie is the second act. And like it shows for me. Like I think like just in terms of like the dialogue and like the performances, the performance of Ezra, like when like he's talking to like not only himself but Keaton about like his mom and like all that type of stuff. I think that was like really really like genuine, and them going with whenever they're doing like a rebirth, dude, that was so fucking sick. That was so fucking cool. But yeah, the second act was like probably the best act to me, by far. The third act, man.
Yeah, the thing that they were selling the entire movie on was the best part of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, like just like you said, like with like Supergirl, like I think it's really fucked, dude, because like of course I really did want her to be like in a larger part of the movie, but like her dying being like a fixed point is so fucked, dude. I'm like, damn, like I really wanted to see more of her, but of course like just how things go.
Yeah. Speaking of the fixed point thing, have you noticed that a lot of multiversal stories have to do with like a fixed point or some like that canon event, whatever? Like in this movie, obviously, it was Batman and Supergirl dying. Across the Spider-Verse, spoiler alert, it was the Captain whatever version of Captain Stacy dying. I just replayed MK11 and the canon or the oh fuck, what is it? What's it called? We just said it.
What the fixed point?
Yeah, the fixed point. The fixed point in like MK11 was Raiden and Liu Kang fighting and Liu Kang dying, and that was from 2018. The Doctor Strange episode in What If was Christine dying.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a lot of fixed points.
Yeah, it is a lot of fixed points. But I mean, I think like it just. Like it just like makes sense because like that's just how like the story's supposed to go. Like it's kind of just a way for them to like have like a narrative beat for the plot. But man, you want to know something? You want to know people that could have just been taken out of the movie and would not change anything?
Don't tell me. People that are taken out of the movie and it wouldn't change anything. Ooh, his friends.
Yeah, fucking
Patty,
Albert
Spivot.
and Patty. Yeah. If you take them out of the movie, it wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah, I was like, okay, when they first showed up, but when they were in the alternate world, I really enjoyed them actually. Speaking of which, one of my favorite bits was with them and Younger Barry, and they're like, man, Eric Stoltz was great in Back to the Future.
Oh yeah, like no,
he's like, no, it's Michael J. Fox. What are you talking about? And they're like, no.
Yeah, it's crazy because
they're like, oh yeah, Kevin Bacon in Top Gun, that was great.
Yeah, because Back to the Future is one of your favorite movies. So imagine if Eric Stoltz was
just like Michael J. Fox. You mean the guy from Footloose?
Like, no, that's Kevin Bacon.
No, Kevin Bacon's Top Gun.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that was funny. I think one of my favorite scenes throughout the movie was when they're in the precinct, not the precinct, the lab.
Yeah.
And of course, like, Barry doesn't have his powers, and he's trying to run, and really, he's like running around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like running around like in a circle. That was so funny.
Yeah,
dude.
that was good. Yeah, the movie's legitimately funny at times. His run is still fucking stupid though.
Yeah, I know. It's not the best.
I really thought they were gonna change it too. That's crazy.
Nah.
Oh, he's supposed to be like a ice skater or whatever. I don't give a fuck. It looks stupid.
Well, someone said like well, someone said like the reason why he runs like that is because like he can't fucking destroy everything like he did like in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Because if he runs so fast, he ends up fucking just destroying everything in his path. So he just runs like that because it's light on his feet. But I don't care. It's just like I think like I don't know, the run doesn't really bother me too much. I think it's fine.
He looks like a clown.
Well, no, I think that's like the point of the scene in the lab downstairs or whatever.
Yeah.
What else?
So the CGI.
Yeah, we're going back to the CGI.
Those babies.
Oh yeah, those babies, dude. I should have done
shit.
I should have done a out of like you know those like out of context pictures.
Yeah.
That people do on Twitter. I should have sent you just a baby in a microwave, and you could have just guessed the whole way, the whole week.
What the fuck is this?
What does this mean? Okay. But yeah,
what's
dude,
the context?
Yeah, those babies are pretty fucking bad.
Horrible,
might as well just could have gotten like dolls, like those like replica baby dolls or whatever.
Yeah, and it's like that. Like the dog didn't look good either. And actually, to me,
I swear that they use like two different dogs. Dude.
Yes,
I swear they used like two different dogs.
When it landed, I was like, "Is that the same dog?"
Yeah, I could have sworn like the dog that like landed on the ground was like had like its fur up, or it was just a different breed, dude.
Yeah, I did like the bit where he's like there and he's losing energy and he just zooms right past the bait.
Cool.
Yeah,
like
maybe if the CGI was better, it would land better.
Nah, dude, because like he fucking. Nah, I was laughing when he just went for the vending machine, dude.
Yeah,
that was funny as hell.
Yeah, like again, there's good moments in this, but fuck me, man. When the CGI is so bad that it's like almost unsettling to look at.
I think the CGI like was really so the one part I told you like before we started recording, the part where the CGI, I can give a pass on. It was not only like, with Ezra's face, with like, the double Barry, but also when Barry's in the Speed Force and
and he's like rewinding and going through certain events.
Yeah, and I know, and like that bit, and like also in the third act when like younger Barry is like reversing time, and like you see like just CGI Supergirl and like Zod. I can like let that slide because like number one, like it's the Speed Force, like it's already like a myth as it is. And number two, it's like it's not going to be in the movie for that long, so it's like whatever. I think the part where like the CGI was like bad to the point where it's like, yeah, this is like horrible. But it's like when they showed Christopher Reeve Superman, and
atrocious, I'm like, bro, atrocious.
I was like, and like I told you this the other day, I was like, they didn't really need to do that. Like they could have at least either number one, like there's so many different ways they could have gone about it.
They could have used, and people, oh my god, people on the internet piss me off, bro. Oh, did you want them to use stock footage? Yes, motherfucker. They used stock footage in No Way Home and it fucking worked perfectly. There's ways to do this. You know what else they could have done? Same continuity. They could have gotten Brandon Routh.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. They could have gotten Brandon Routh for that. Like, and then I mean, you don't even need Supergirl, and you don't even need Supergirl.
Who the fuck? Like I do appreciate that they're really going for like deep cuts, because what general audience member is going in there going, the fuck is Nicolas Cage doing there? We know because we're losers, but general audiences are gonna be like, huh?
Yeah, and it's like, and even then, like, Nicolas Cage is still alive. You could have at least gotten him. You could have brought him in. You could have put some makeup on there, like, lightly. If you could have lightly like de-aged him,
you could do a CGI suit, because let's be honest, his body ain't gonna.
Yeah, he could have done a CGI suit or whatever. And then I know, like, so Andy Muschietti said he had like a long list of cameos that he wanted to do.
Oh yes, that was the news I was gonna talk about.
Yeah, he cut them out because of like pacing.
Yeah, but it was it was pretty quick.
Yeah, so
it was it was quick, and it overstayed its welcome at the same time.
Yeah.
But Andy Muschietti says 3 of the cameos that were cut from The Flash included Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, which they did in Wonder Woman 1984. I don't understand why they couldn't do that. Replace the Nicolas Cage one with that. It still would have fucking worked. Marlon Brando's Jor-El, which they have plenty of stock footage of. They could have done that. And Cesar Romero's Joker. That would have been fun.
I personally don't care about that.
I don't really care either, but it would have been fun.
The only CGI that like that's fine, like that absolutely kind of works in that multiverse scene was Jay Garrick, because it's black and white and it's like, oh well, it's like.
Yes. Speaking of which, was that not Zoom?
What, Teddy Sears?
Yeah.
Yeah, Teddy Sears was. Yeah, he was in there.
Okay, so that was Teddy Sears.
Yeah.
So you're telling me they got the actor who played the fake Jay Garrick, but they couldn't get John Wesley Shipp?
No, because John Wesley Shipp wasn't available during that time because he's filming another movie right now.
I don't believe that. I don't believe it.
No, I'm just fucking with you. I actually don't even know if that was Teddy Sears, but I know someone
pretty
said
sure it was Teddy Sears.
Someone said Teddy Sears was in the movie, so I don't doubt it at all. But you want to know who I was planning to see? I really wanted to see Grant Gustin. I really wanted to see him. Yep. I really wanted to.
Luckily, I knew going in that he wasn't in the movie.
I know, but I still wanted that hope.
They set it up so well. I don't understand why they couldn't just even in that little moment just put him in somewhere. It's a whole multiverse movie. Your main character is the Flash. Why don't we see other versions of the Flash that isn't fucking Ezra Miller? Like, yeah, we see Jay Garrick. That's cool, I guess, but it's not the person that we're watching.
Wait, who else was in that multiversal like world thing?
The original Superman, live action Superman, not Christopher Reeve, the other guy.
George Reeve.
Adam West's
Batman. Yeah, we did see Jay Garrick. We saw Supergirl.
Christopher Reeve, Nicolas Cage. I think that was it. Unless I'm forgetting something.
There's so many more cameos they could have done. I also like seeing CGI Henry Cavill. That was cool. I mean, that kind of satisfied me. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of the Speed Force stuff, that was the bit where I was like, okay, I can kind of forgive this because it's more stylized. It's not meant to be necessarily realistic. It's him like running through. Like, I get that. Like, I'll give that a bit of a pass because even in that, like Henry Cavill versus like there was a shot of. I think it was Keaton's Batman that just looked horrible. So even then there's inconsistencies of the CG. But like, I think, I hope that's what Andy Muschietti's talking about, where he was like, oh yeah, it was deliberate and not the whole multiversal look at Christopher Reeve.
Yeah, because I know like the whole thing with Andy Muschietti saying like, oh yeah, the CGI was like it was intentionally bad, and I'm like, bro, this man just ran out of budget. Like
bro is desperately trying to damage control, and the fact that people are fucking falling for it too. And people are like, oh well, the director said it was intent. Doesn't fucking matter. It still looks like shit. Just because you point out, hey, that's shit, doesn't make it not shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like it definitely has to figure out what he's Yeah, definitely. I have to figure out what he really means by that. But...
And people are like, oh yeah, the CG wasn't good, but at least it looked better than Ant-Man. Motherfucker, this movie made Ant-Man look like Avatar. like at least Ant-Man was consistently just with its CG. This was like ooh and
right. Oh, but what else? Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. So, like, Dark Flash. I think that just kind of,
again, just missed opportunities left and right, man.
It's one of the things to where it's like, okay, so I know when they were first writing like the synopsis and the characters in the movie, they're like, oh yeah, we're not gonna do Reverse Flash, and I'm like, why? That's like fucking horrible.
Speaking of which, Andy Muschietti did confirm that Reverse Flash killed his mom.
Yeah, I know, because I was there on set. No, but yeah, like I know when they were saying like, yeah, Dark Flash, like Barry Allen has like this psychological thing going on in his mind. Wasn't that psychological? And it was like very predictable, like, because I know like in the third act when he got that, you know, little knife thing, I'm like, oh yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
like it, because like, you know, you go into it, you think there's going to be 3 Flashes, like, you know, well technically there were, but you think that there's going to be 2 good ones and 1 bad one. But
and you think maybe we'll get like a speedster fight, except on the big screen, but nah.
And imagine you get a speedster fight and start pulling out lightsabers.
Oh, when they started throwing the lightning, I was like, oh no. Because CW just overuses the fuck out of that. He doesn't like, I know, right? He doesn't punch people anymore. He doesn't like run around people anymore. He just starts throwing lightning. So when they did that a little bit, I was like, oh no. But they gave a legitimately good explanation for it. They did it when it felt necessary. I thought they actually did that really, really well.
Yeah. The speedster, the abilities were really cool. Like of course, you know, something that we've seen before, but like they were done like pretty well, and like they looked cool. So like, yeah, it was really awesome. But yeah, like the Dark Flash, like it wasn't really a problem for me anymore, only because like, you know, it makes sense, and like, you know, like kind of like a lazy, no, I wouldn't say lazy, but like it's makes sense in the most simple way. It's like, yeah, like
it's an idea that I don't hate. It just, if it was executed better. Mm-hmm. Because like, yeah, when he comes in and you like, he pushes him out and you see him through like the crack, and it's just like the glowing eyes and shit. Awesome, looks sick. And then at the end, you can obviously tell because like younger Barry starts getting mad, and it's like, oh, and he has the things in his arm. It's like, oh,
yeah.
And then
I was like,
Dark Flash comes in. I'm like, oh, and then and then the sort of like face bit comes off, and it's Ezra, obviously. And I don't think their performance is great there, to be perfectly honest. And I was like, oh.
I'm trying to remember if like he pulled off the cowl, was it like nanotech?
I don't, neither. I think he got like smacked or like hit with lightning or something, and it came off.
Younger Barry, or like, I think it was like,
oh, you mean Younger Barry or Dark Flash?
I'm thinking about older Barry when he takes off his like cowl.
Oh,
it's like nanotech.
Oh,
or,
right.
Like, if he just takes it off.
I think it's nanotech.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you can. Yeah, I think it's nanotech.
Well, it's okay. I'll watch that movie later on TikTok.
Because Bruce made it for him.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, dude, that fucking costume. It's good yet bad. But going back to Dark Flash.
Oh, someone who was in this and was once again wasted, Iris.
Yeah, I mean, who really cares about Iris, though? She ain't really all that much. I'm kidding.
Well, let's not project CW Iris onto this Iris.
No, but like, yeah, I agree. Like, because, you know, Kiersey Clemons, like, I think she's a great actress. I've seen her in like other movies, and you know, for quite a while.
I saw her in something recently. I was like, oh shit, that's Iris. I don't remember what it was.
Was it Dope?
No, I don't think it was Dope.
I loved her in Dope. She was cool. But yeah, like I really wanted I don't know. Like I do think that she was very underutilized.
Anyway, let's talk about that ending.
Oh, dude.
So we spend the whole movie, he's changing time or whatever, and, you know, universes and Keaton and Supergirl and blah, 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 blah. And Dark Flash, and he's like, ooh, I've been trying to fix it. And Barry's like, maybe we shouldn't try to fix it and, you know, not change anything. So he goes back. He's like, Mom, I'm putting these tomatoes back. That was a great moment.
Yeah, that was a really nice moment.
Puts the tomatoes back. His mommy gets killed. Then what do you know? He goes and changes it anyway. He changes it anyway.
Typical Barry Allen, bro.
Yeah, part of me is like, you just learned not to change shit. But yeah, another part of me is like, yeah, he would do that, wouldn't he? So yeah, and then George Clooney.
Because I was like, wait, his voice sounds different. Like this ain't right. And then George Clooney, I was like, holy shit.
Oh, so you didn't know it was George Clooney?
No, I didn't know it was George Clooney, but like I noticed the voice was different. So I'm like, something's off.
No, like before, you didn't know George Clooney was in it?
No.
Oh, damn, I did.
Well, how does it feel knowing that you spoiled yourself?
Well, I didn't spoil myself, but not intentionally at least, but it's whatever, I guess. He's in it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But it was funny. He was like, who the fuck is this guy? And George Clooney's just like, hey, Barry. He's like, you're not Batman. He's like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But speaking of the ending, The Flash had 3 different endings during production. One was the one that we got in theaters with George Clooney. Another was Keaton's Batman and Sasha Cal's Supergirl at the courthouse, which I saw in set photos. Speaking of which, they probably shot that on a green screen. It kind of looked like a lot like Ezra Miller was on a green screen there.
Yeah, he it looked like he was, yeah, because like the background was like pretty blurred.
Yeah, and also his CGI tooth.
Yeah.
How do you? Whatever. So yeah, Keaton and Sasha Calle Supergirl at the courthouse, and then the one that they should have went with, Sasha Cal's Supergirl, Cavill's Superman, Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, and Keaton's Batman at the courthouse, which they filmed.
Well, can't wait for that Muschietti cut in full effect, because I know Sasha Cal's Supergirl had more fight scenes, but they got cut.
Oh, really?
Because they were deemed too rated R. Huh? Yeah, that's what Sasha Calle said, apparently.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it says from the Culture Crave, Sasha Calle says some Supergirl fight scenes were cut from The Flash because they were too rated R via Collider.
What does that even mean?
I don't even know.
Whatever. But yeah. So we could have had it all. It also would have been a pretty nice send off to the DCEU. But you know, a little bit more specifics. DeLuca and Abdi, who are some of the producers, believe they were being strategic with the ending. Cavill was going to cameo for the DC movie Black Adam, and was being teed up to return to the role in a brand new Superman movie. Supergirl was retained because even though the executives were killing the development of a standalone Supergirl movie, they were open to her returning in some form and didn't want the last image audiences saw of her to be her death at the hands of a supervillain.
I guess I'm not sure what to say about that.
It is what it is, but the movie's not doing well either at the box office.
Yeah. Box office, it's gonna like break even, be under under its budget like a little bit, or probably gonna be like a Justice League situation and like barely make over its budget. I mean, I don't know.
It's just, I just feel this whole movie is just a bunch of missed opportunities, which is, I feel like, is always the worst kind of worst thing you could have. Just missed opportunities. Because like, at least with Multiverse of Madness, like there was a lot there. And like, yeah, with the multiverse, there's a lot you can do, but they still did a lot, and everything that they did with it, in my opinion, at least, felt satisfying enough. I know people, you know, thought it was disappointing, but I feel like that was more building it up in their heads with what the movie was going to be. But that's a different conversation for another time, I guess. But I love Michael Keaton's Batman. Again, I love the when they first walk in on him at Wayne Manor, and he's just like sneak attacks them and just kind of wrecks them.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh, I also liked how he was like, yeah, they don't need me anymore, because crime's like it's like the lowest crime rate in like the world or some shit. I was like, that's nice. Batman actually did his job and it did it well and it works. I don't know. One thing I am for sure about now that having seen the movie, this motherfucker Ezra Miller ain't coming back. That dude gone.
Nah, yeah, he's it's done.
Yeah, bro's in the Clooneyverse and shit. Just fucking crazy. Imagine he's both stuck in the Clooneyverse. Also there was the post-credit scene with Aquaman, or I couldn't tell, was it just Jason Momoa? It was like a doppelganger, or was he actually supposed to be Aquaman and he just like went towards a different path, or he was just a fucking drunk?
I feel like that's just like a doppelganger.
Didn't he call him Arthur?
Yeah, I mean, his name is Arthur, but like that don't mean he's Aquaman, you know?
True. Oh, speaking of which, it was really funny seeing Boba Fett back as his dad, and he's he's like, yeah, this is me. He was like, is your wife like a Queen of Atlantis or whatever? Looks back at his wife. He's like, no. That was good. Gotta love Boba Fett, except a show. But fuck yeah, man. The CGI was terrible. So bad. Oh, speaking of, and another thing of the CGI, the whole shit looks exactly the same as it does in the trailer. It looks exactly.
Look, when I watched it didn't look like that. I guess because I got invited to an early premiere.
Oh, right. You got a special screening, so the CGI was better.
Yeah.
That's the screening Tom Cruise saw when he said it was the best movie he's ever seen, or whatever the fuck he said.
I know they were telling Tom Cruise, if you don't say anything good about the Flash, you won't screen Mission Impossible, and he had to say that, and he still got fucked over because
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan's like of all the screenings, bro.
I feel bad, but Scientology. Yeah, CGI was terrible, and I kind of give it a pass on the Speed Force. Everything else, though, it's just like it's inexcusable, especially the beginning with the babies, because like it's a very, very similar bit to Quicksilver in specifically Apocalypse, and it looks infinitely better. Like, and that movie's like 7 years old compared to now, and that looks like that. I just that's inexcusable with how the babies look like the fucking baby from fucking Twilight. Like, it looks horrible. That might be an exaggeration, but still.
No, dude. Like, I mean, like, so the thing about like the baby in Twilight, like, like her name is like Renesmee. Yeah, dude, that her entire face was like CG, and like you can tell. Oh yeah,
I saw it.
Yeah, it was like a different, like her face was like a different color from like the head.
Shit's ass. Just like the Flash.
I'm like, dude, that's crazy.
They really canceled Batgirl for this shit. But yeah, like I was telling you, it was all going to make sense, especially with that original ending, since Batman, or Keaton, was supposed to take over as Batman, like officially, and they were going to do a Supergirl movie, and Cavill was just going to be out completely. But now we're getting a reset. So I mean, I'd rather have the reset, to be honest.
Right.
That being said, what was James Gunn cooking when he said it's one of the best superhero movies ever made? I know bro's like definitely just doing his job, but come on, man. You've made a couple of the best superhero movies of all time. This does not come close.
Yeah, no, dude.
Unfortunately, I can't call it peak either. I can't call it peak. We got back-to-back peak. It could have been back-to-back-to-back peak, but no.
Nah.
Unfortunately. Oh, but that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
There's definitely gonna be something I'll be like, damn it, should have talked about that. But yeah, is that the show?
That is the show. All
right, well, thank you everyone for listening to the Avengers podcast. If you want to follow us, we're at Avengenerds on Twitter. That's AVENGE Nerds, all one word. If you want to follow either one of us, you can reach me at @Zenith_ on Twitter. Where can they reach you?
At Touring Guy on Instagram.
Awesome. We also have a Discord if you'd like to join the conversation there. Those will be linked in the show notes. You can also check out our link tree for any additional links you may be interested in. You can also review the show in-app on Apple Podcasts. If you can leave 5 stars in a review, it would really help us out. And if you leave 5 stars review, I'll read your review out on the show. Even if you hate us and you're like, man, these guys suck, leave a 5-star review and say, these guys suck. And I'll be forced to read it out. Those are the rules. So thanks again for listening to the Adventures Podcast. We'll see you next week.
Later.